Ni same thing náà ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ń bíbí báyìí. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you all doing? It's nice to see your faces again. So welcome to my channel, Flourish and Thrive with TA, where we talk about relationship matters. We talk about solving conflicts in relationship and also healing trauma and also talking about parenting. So my name is Elizabeth Akiniyi. I am a relationship and marriage therapist. So welcome to the last concluding part of the insecure attachment style, which we'll be talking about for the past few weeks. So today is the concluding part. What I have to talk about today is loaded. So it's my pertain to you and it's my pertain to somebody you know. So I just want you to just take it with us because this session I might be actually be opening up some wounds. So I don't mean to, I'm sorry, but as the case may be, I just need to go for healing. So today I'll be talking about the fearful avoidance attachment style, how you can develop the signs and the way in the relationship how they behave, and lastly how you can heal. Yes, everything is all in total package. So we have plenty things to talk about today. So far you guys have been watching or have been with me with this attachment side series. I hail all of you now. I hail all of you very well. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for sharing, the comments, the likes. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So now, without wasting much of our time, like I used to say, oh yeah, let's get to what we want to talk about today. The fearful avoidant attachment style. What is the fearful avoidant attachment style? For your information, I'm sorry, but if you are watching my video for the first time, I'm really sorry, but I won't be explaining what is the attachment style again. I've been doing that for the past few weeks now. So, as it is, if you want to know what attachment styles means and the different type of attachment styles we have, I have done other live sessions that can actually throw light into that one. So please, my apologies. Please, my apologies. So let's get to this one. So what is the fearful avoidance attachment style? The fearful avoidance attachment style, let me put it this way. I'm going to use different examples. Is the combination of the anxious and also the avoidance. Bring two of them together, they form one. So most of the time they call them disorganized attachment style, because yes, they are disorganized. People in this category, they don't wish to, but it's just happen. So these people, they really want love, they crave for it, they want it, but when the love comes, they will run away. They are the ones that will sabotage the relationship. They are the ones that will destroy the relationship with their behavior. It's not something that is conscious, it is subconscious. And you find out, is it possible? Yes, it is possible, it is happening. Because it's not something that is conscious. They come up with behaviors that will make them sabotage the relationship. And most of the time, most of these people that are actually in this category, they are actually people that have been through one. It's either they have childhood wounds, maybe as a child they were traumatized by their parents or their caregiver, so they carry that wound into adulthood. Two, they suffered neglect or abandonment as a child. Three, they suffered abuse, mostly sexual abuse or emotional abuse. So those three things gave them a wrong perspective about love. So what they think love is not what love really is. To them, love is pain. They want that love, because when they were as a child, when they were as a child, they were supposed to be given adequate and consistent love. But a situation whereby your caregiver or your parent did not give you that adequate love, but their own case is even worse. Maybe they were traumatized by their parents. They might have a narcissistic father or a narcissistic mother, or a toxic father or a toxic mother, or both parents were both toxic. And as a result, they inflicted emotional pain on their child. They inflicted emotional abuse on their child. They abused their child in such a way that that child grew up broken and wounded. So right from childhood, they had a perspective that love is pain. So it is stored in some certain parts of their brain. So that memory as a child still lingers with them. So whenever love comes, what they feel is pain. And as because of that pain, it is subconscious. It's stored in the archives of their subconscious mind. Their subconscious mind will see love as pain, and pain to them is danger. Because it is danger, their subconscious mind will start coming up with different mechanism to protect them. So before you know it, they come up with different behavioral attitudes that will sabotage the relationship. Once the relationship is over, they are safe again. So you find many of them. So you find many of them in that situation. Remember, there are some, let me put some situations, let me give some examples. You have a father that is, maybe you have a father that is caring, you don't have a toxic mother. You saw the way your mother treated your father. She treated your father in such a way that she broke the man, and the man still endured, stayed in the relationship. So right from childhood, your own perspective of love is not love, because you believe that in a relationship you have to endure pain. To you, in a relationship, love means abuse. So those people, they don't see anything wrong in when they are being abused or they abuse people. Yes, people in their fearful avoidant attachment style most times fall into toxic relationship, or they end up becoming toxic people that will abuse other people. So they are the kind of people they will say the world is a wicked place. They are the kind of people that will say men are bad, women are bad, don't trust people, don't believe in people, people are wicked, people are this, people are that. They will always come up with different theories and suppositions that are not true. So they want people to love them. They want people to be there for them. But when those people come, they are the ones that will put up so many kind of attitude that will make those people come away. And most of the time, they put up toxic tendencies that will hurt other people and will make people to just move away from them. Or they'll be the one to pull away from those people. It is stemming from the way they were brought up, their childhood. Their parents neglected them. So many of them are suffering from abandonment wound. So if you were abandoned by your parents as a child, maybe you were meant to carry your own responsibility. They didn't care for your well-being. You are the one that had to take care of your siblings, yourself, your schooling, your education. As a child, you had to learn to grow up and begin. Maybe you had to leave school and you have to go and do some menial work to be able to eat, to feed yourself, and at the same time take care of your siblings. It is going to have an effect in adulthood, because take it or leave it, that wound, that abandonment wound, that inner child of you is still going to be hurting. So most of the time they carry that wound into adulthood, and as an adult, they tend to start behaving in a way that they want love. Like I said, they want love because they are people that grew up without love. So they still want that love. But once that love comes to them, they will come up with so many different attitudes that will self-sabotage that relationship. I don't know, maybe you're resonating with what I'm saying, but from so far, should be able to picture some situations or some people or some things that has happened around you, whereby you've seen people behaving in that way. A situation whereby you have a drunkard as a dad and you have a mother who is the one caring for you. She has to be the one to take care of the children. The father does not take any responsibility. is so irresponsible a father. The mother doesn't have the time to give the children love. All she has to do is to make sure that she provides for their needs. She provides for their basic needs, that is their food and their schooling. And most of the time, maybe she doesn't have a good job, she doesn't have a good income, so you find out that she will have to need the support of the children, and as a result, giving them that care, that nurturing, that attention will not be given so much, because she's not taking up the responsibility of two people. So as a result, she's going to impart her pain on the child, and as a result, the child inherits the trauma. So when that child saw all those things as a child, growing up as an adult, that person will believe that all men are bad because my dad maltreated my mom. So as a result, I don't want to go into any relationship, and if I go into any relationship, I don't want to fall in love. So most of the time when they fall in love, they run away because they are scared. They are afraid that if they actually fall in love, they are going to actually become vulnerable. They are actually going to become weak. And as a result of it, they are going to take advantage of them. Those things that happen to them, to their parents, is going to happen to them. So they pull away. So that is how it is being formed. It is being formed by the way the parents, they actually treated their children. So growing up with a narcissistic mother, growing up with a toxic father, growing up with an abusive parent or abusive relationship has an impact on the child when they become an adult. Unless that child as an adult comes to the self-awareness that I am reliving the pattern that my parents has relived, and I don't want it anymore, and I want to be out of it, because healing is possible. Healing is quite possible. So you find such women moving from one toxic relationship to another. I'm going to say a story about when I was taking my class, as in when I was still going through my certification course. Our tutor told us a story about a lady that came for therapy in our institution. She said the lady was complaining that she keeps moving from one toxic relationship to another, and she did not understand what was going on. So our tutor now asked her, tell me about your childhood. That was when she now related that she had a father that was very, very stern, very, very a strict disciplinarian. Can you imagine a father, because the father saw the daughter with a boy and they were talking, the father made her grind hot chili pepper, raw chili pepper with the mortar with her hand. After grinding that chili pepper, the father now made her rub that chili pepper all over her body, including her private parts. So that lady still carried that semblance of what happened as a child with her. So she also recalled another example. Her father is actually a civil engineer. So they have some construction, some things, some cement, some things that has to do with construction in the house. So because she did something wrong, the father now has to lock her in a room for 3 days without food. There was no food, there was no nothing. She was locked in there with the cement and all the building equipment. On the second day, the girl could not take it anymore as a child. She had to go take the cement, mix it with a little water, and she started ingesting it. This was a very serious issue that almost led to her death, if not for intervention when they didn't hear her scream anymore. So you can imagine such a scenario. So the lady grew up with a mentality that men are bad, that men will always insult you, they will always abuse you, they will always do all sorts of things. So when she came for therapy, that was when she realized why she was moving from one toxic relationship to another. She wants love. But when she gets that love, she gets only toxic love. And as a result, she kept having that assumption that men are bad, men are bad, men are bad, they will always abuse you. And that was how it continued until when she was able to identify that her source of problem was the way her father treated her. African parents, I will always say, you will always say you will discipline your child, discipline your child. We are not saying you shouldn't discipline your child, but over discipline sometimes destroys the confidence, the esteem of a child. When you're supposed to encourage the child to bring out the best in them, most of the time they bring it down by saying they are disciplined, cultural norm, social norm, and as a result, you find adults that are actually broken, that are actually wounded. They want love. Maybe they got married, they want a woman to love them and everything. They will become toxic men who eventually abuse and beat up their wife. So such people, they are hot and cold. Today they will be loving today, and another day you just see them, they will just withdraw. They behave in such a way that will make you question that, is this for real? Does this guy really love me? Because most of the time, for most men, they become abusive. The man might be the kind of a person whereby he will shower gift and affection on you this moment, and the next day maybe you might be saying something as a woman, and before you know it, he just spy on your face, starts beating you up. And before you know it, he will beat the living daylight out of you. The next day is coming to apologize to you and tell you, I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me, I'm not going to do this again. And he becomes loving and kind and everything. All of a sudden he changes all again and starts beating you and starts maltreating you, and the story goes on and on. And you have children watching you. Your children are watching you. So you are also passing on the trauma which you suffered as a child, seeing your dad maltreat your mom. You are passing it on to the children because the children are seeing you. You are giving them a perspective to the ladies that it is normal to be abused in a relationship. So their own perspective of love is pain. That is one. To the male, you are also showing to them that if you want to express your love to your wife, you have to abuse them. Ask some men in some of my therapy sessions with some of my clients. Ask some men what is their perspective about love. That is when you will hear all sorts of things. So I don't tell men, love your wife. I will first of all ask them, what do you think love is all about? Before telling them, love your wife. And then maybe their love their wife is slap them and beat them or treat them anyhow. So I don't tell them, love your wife. I ask them, what is your perspective about love? From what is your perspective about love, that is when I can actually tell you, okay, you need to love your wife. But when I see that your perspective about love is thwarted, the next thing is to first of all, what caused that supposition? Why are you thinking that way? So that is how it is being formed. So let us go next into the signs. From what I've said so far, you should be able to start picking some of the signs. Some of the signs is that they want closeness, but when the closeness comes, they are the ones that will push it away. They self-sabotage the relationship. I don't know, maybe you've been in this whereby you've been in a relationship with somebody, maybe they hurt you so badly and you went through so much pain, and you want to be in another relationship again. You are in a new relationship, but you start feeling nervous, you start feeling fear, and before you know it, you come up with self-sabotaging behaviors that you just break the relationship down, and you wonder, how did it happen? Yes, you are actually forming the fearful avoidance attachment style, and you need to go for therapy because you are on and off. That is the first sign. The second sign is that they fear rejection, but they themselves reject people. Don't try to reject them. That's the reason why I say sometimes that they are the kind of people, they tend to have toxic tendencies. Don't try to reject them. If you try to show them love, show them care, they become so overwhelmed. They start having this anxious feeling for no reason at all. Nothing is wrong, but they just believe that something is wrong. Their amygdala is so hyperactive. That's a part of the brain that has to do with controlling our emotions or our irrational impulses. So as a result, because their amygdala is overactive, so they will always feel that there's fear, there's danger, there's danger, there's danger, there's danger, when nothing is actually happening. So as a result, they might begin to see the person as a threat and begin to reject the person. So they don't like to be rejected, but at the same time, they reject other people because they are living from the standpoint of fear. The third thing is that they don't trust people. Yes, they are always believing that this person is bad, that person is bad, because they're having the mindset, the belief that the world is a wicked place, people are wicked, you don't have to trust people. If you trust people too much, they will hurt you. So they have all these things in their heart, and it's coming from the way they were brought up. The traumatic experiences they've been through has shaped their mind to see the world from a lens of pain, of a lens of distrust, from a lens of disloyalty. So most of the time, they like to keep to themselves. So when they keep to themselves, they'll feel so lonely. They'll move out, but when they move out, it becomes overwhelming. They don't know how to handle intimate relationship. It scares them. Being intimate makes them afraid. So that is it. So they find it very hard to trust people. They find it very hard to speak up their mind or tell people that this is how I'm feeling. They always have everything up their sleeve. They are reading meaning to everything that you do, everything that you say. They are always overthinking everything. Even if you say one thing, they will read 10 minutes to it. They will think you are saying this, you are saying, and you might not be referring to them. So that is one of the things that happens to them. Another sign is that today they are hot, tomorrow they are cold. Today they might be loving, tomorrow they might be something else. They might call you, text you, show you love, show you that they want to be with you. But when you start opening up to them and start coming to them, that is when they will start moving away from you. You see that you hear them say, you are infringing on my space. You are calling me too much. We are going on too much this. We are spending so much time together. I need my space. I want to be alone. I want to do this. And before you know it, you might call them. They might not pick up your calls. They might not talk to you for days, for months. They just black out. And next thing, you see them after some month, they are telling you again, let us pick up from where we stopped. We didn't come to a relationship. I just needed some time alone. They are there today, tomorrow, they are there tomorrow. You don't know what they really want. They leave you confused. They leave you thinking that frustrated. Maybe you did something wrong. Maybe it was your fault. They made you to start thinking things that are not true. So most of the time, they drive their partners confused. So because of their hurt and coldness, they don't know what they want. So that is one of the signs that they actually put up. So they put up all these signs, not that they really want to do it, but they are coming from a standpoint of pain. They can't, the memory is still stored in within of them. So this the sign, like I say, they want closeness, but when the closeness comes, they reject it, they put it away. They are the kinds, they fear rejection, but at the same time, they reject other people when they come to them. Three, they don't trust people. They don't trust people. Today they are hot and they are cold tomorrow. And the last thing which I just remembered now is that they are the kind of people that move from one toxic relationship to another, because of the tendency that they just want love. They want love. They've been abandoned. They just want somebody to care for them, somebody to just make them feel cherished, to make them feel special. So most of the time, they love men or women that will show them that love, etc. And most of the time, those people are actually love bombers. So they come, they love bomb them. They think, oh, I have met my Prince Charming, I have met my Queen Victoria, and before you know it, so they move into the relationship and they are being abused again. And because they are being abused, they will say, oh, I have said it, relationship is not meant for me. That's when they start coming up with negative self-talk. Men are bad, men are evil, women are bad, they are so they will come up with all different theories. So those are the signs of somebody with a fearful, avoidant attachment style. So because of the pain they've been through, they tend to avoid intimacy. They tend to avoid relationship because they are always afraid that they will hurt me again. If you do this one, the same thing. My first husband, she did this to me. My first wife did this to me. I married another woman, the same thing. I married another man, the same thing. My first boyfriend, my second boyfriend, my third boyfriend. If you find such a situation, slow down and check yourself. Something is wrong with you. You might be having the fearful avoidant attachment style. So if you're in a relationship with somebody with a fearful avoidant attachment style, how does it affect a relationship? First and mostly, they leave their partner frustrated. They leave their partner confused because of their hot and cold attitude. Today, a man tells you, I love you, you are the sugar in my tea, you are my all in all, you are everything to me, you are the air I breathe, you are everything to me. They tell you all sort of things. Fine. Tomorrow, maybe days later, weeks later, they start pulling away. That is when they start complaining about you. They start grumbling about you. You are not good enough anymore. There's nothing you know how to do. They start complaining. They start saying all sorts of things. I just want, let's call this quits and just want it to come to an end. In that kind of situation, you don't know what they want. If that is how they are consistent, that would have been okay. Then the next day, when you're trying to pull away from them, they will now begin to tell you, oh, I'm sorry, I love you, I just don't know what came over me. You pushed me to do it. I don't want to do it. You pushed the demons in me. Yes, I remember. You pushed the demons in me. You were the one that were pushing my buttons. And that's the reason why I had to do it this way. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. You begin to open up to them again. And after some time, they start again. So they leave their partner confused. They leave their partner frustrated. They eventually wound their partners emotionally, making them to breaking them bit by bit. So if you're in a relationship with such a person and you can't cope, my advice to you is walk away. Walk away. Let them know they have a problem and they need to go and sort it out. You can't be in a relationship with somebody who is hot and cold today. Cold today or tomorrow. Somebody who is actually frustrating you and making your life a miserable hell. Not to talk of the fact that he's going to be the one to abuse you, or he's going to bring out the worst in you, or bring out the most bad thing in you, all in the name of, oh, he's going to change, she's going to change. You can't make anybody change if they don't want to change. So you've got to understand that. And understand that if you're in a relationship with somebody with a fearful, avoidant attachment style and you can't cope, my best advice is leave. Let them go and sort their problem. Don't try to sort any problem from them. You are not a therapist. You are not a counselor. It is not your responsibility to fix anybody. If they need fixing, they need to fix themselves. That is one of the things I tell some of my clients. Don't try to fix anybody. If they need fixing, fix yourself. Let them fix themselves and you fix yourself. Take care of yourself. You are the most important person in a relationship. You need to love yourself first before you can love another person. So that is what I am. Those are the impacts it has on a relationship. The impacts the fearful avoidance attachment style person has on their partner in a relationship. Most of the time they break their partners. Most of the time they make them confused. They make them think, oh, I'm not good enough. Sometimes they bring out the worst in them. They break their self-esteem with the way they behave, because those people might supposing they're in a relationship with somebody who is not having the secure attachment style, it becomes a big problem. So far, everything I have said so far, if you have the fearful avoidance attachment style and you're wondering that, oh, this is me, Elizabeth is talking about, so how do I heal from it? Then today is your lucky day. I have come up with some techniques which you can actually use to heal from it. So the first thing is this: you need to come to awareness. Nobody can help you to do that. You need to come to the awareness that something is wrong with you. It is when you have the awareness that there is a problem, that is when you can actually look for a solution. Without the awareness, there cannot be any solution. You need to come to that awareness. So after awareness, the next thing is go for therapy. I repeat, go for therapy. This is not something you can do by yourself. This is not, I've seen some people, they do self-healing. Fine, it worked. When I was actually going through my healing journey, I actually tried self-healing. But along the line, I had to go look for a therapist. I even had to get a psychologist along the way. So it is important. For somebody with a fearful avoidance attachment style, you need to seek the help of a professional counselor or seek the help of a professional therapist who will help you, guide you through the process to help you heal from your childhood wounds. Discover the source of the problem, then now administer healing. So the third thing you need to do is you need to practice emotional regulation. Yes, I still love doing that up till today. You need to regulate your emotions, because somebody with that attachment style, they are always anxious, always fearful. So you need to regulate your mind to keep your mind calm, so that so that feeling of fear and nervousness actually subsides. So in such a way, some of the ways I use to actually regulate my emotion, I use grounding methods, like breathing methods. So the first thing I do is to actually, it's like a box. So you breathe in at the count of 4, you hold for the count of 4, you breathe out at the count of 4, then you hold at the count of 4. So it continues in that cycle. I do it for like 7 times. Then after that, I now sit down to observe my emotions. What am I thinking? So when I understand what I'm thinking, I name it. Then what am I thinking? This thing that I'm thinking, what actually prompted this in the first place? What prompted me to start thinking this way? So when I'm able to identify the source of what's making me to think that way, if it's positive, I let it stay. If it's negative, then I look at it that, is this thing true? It's not true. So I replace it with a positive thought, so that I let go of that negative thought and I replace it with a positive. So it regulates my emotions. It makes me to come to a sphere whereby I know that all is well and I am safe. That is my one of the best affirmations when I actually do emotional regulation. All is well and I am safe. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to fear about. There's nothing to fear about. So that is the one of the ways we can actually help to heal. So the fourth thing is you need to do your inner child work. Yes. What is the inner child? The inner child is a part of you that, even though you might be an adult, it's a part of you that experience the pain, the suffering, and everything you went through as a child. So that inner part of you is still there, stuck with those feelings, stuck with those emotions, with those pain and the wounds that she had to endure as a child, and it will be giving you signals and signs that you need to give me attention, you need to heal. So your inner child will be giving you those attention. So you need to, at this time, when you go for therapy, your therapist should be able to mention that you need to heal your inner child. So in healing your inner child, you might do things like journaling, writing a letter to your inner child, speaking softly to your inner child. So helping you to actually make your inner child feel safe. Giving your inner child the love you couldn't get as a child, giving it back to your inner child and nurturing your inner child, making your inner child feel safe and secure. And that is when the healing comes. Another thing you can actually do, which I still do, is you can practice yoga, you can practice mindfulness and meditation. It really works a lot. It really works a lot. So go online, go on YouTube, search for videos of yoga videos that has to do with healing attachment style or healing trauma wounds. They are actually helpful. They will help you to breathe to all the stored traumas in your body. They will actually bring everything out, and that is when healing will begin to take place. And the last thing is, which is quite important, no matter the amount of healing techniques you might have used, somebody with the fearful avoidant attachment style, please stay away from toxic people. Yes, because it is like getting wounded and applying balm on it, and at the same time now going to somebody who is going to actually puncture you where you actually you have actually treated. So stay away from toxic people, because toxic people will only elevate your pain, they will only elevate your fears, they will only elevate your anxiety. So you need to stay around people that are positive minded, that will bring out the best in you. People that are good, that are kind, that are loving, that are cheerful. So those are the kind of people you should stay around them. Don't stay around anybody that will actually bring out stress in you or make you feel less about yourself or make you begin or bring out anxiety in you. So these are the things you can actually do if you are suffering from the fearful avoidance attachment style. These are the things you can actually do to help you yourself, because they are techniques that are quite simple. There are things I do. Lest I forget, in the description section, there's an attachment there. I actually put in a free worksheet there. So if you have any insecure attachment style, whether it be the anxious or the avoidant or the fearful avoidant, you can go ahead, click on that link, download the worksheet. It's a daily worksheet, it's a daily practice, something you can actually do every day. I think it's a page, it's quite helpful, it's quite useful, it's something you can do, something you can do every day, which will actually help you to heal from from trauma, your childhood trauma, from any insecure attachment style you have. So it is there for free. I just think that this is part of my own contribution to humanity. Make the world a better place. Make the world a beautiful place. Always help people with all what you have. Always add impact to people's life. So that is my own legacy. So guys, we have come to the end of this video. Gang, gang, gang. Thank you guys for staying so long with me. It's been actually 35 minutes now. Thank you so much for staying so long with me. I hope you got value for your time. I hope you got value for everything I say so far. So if you like what I do, what are you doing? Hit the like button. And at the same time, if you're watching me for the first time, please subscribe to my channel. Subscribe, help my channel grow. And to all my subscribers, I hail you now. Hey, I'm clapping for all my subscribers. Thank you very much. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for the sharing. I love you guys. Thank you so much. So by next week, I'll be moving to another live episode. My live episode, we'll be talking about the last attachment style, and that is the secure. That is the Olorioko Gege, the number one. So that is what we'll be talking about next week. So it is the best attachment style you can actually be in. In fact, it's going to be loving next week. loving next week. Same time to next week by 4 p.m. Get ready to join me on this live session on my channel, and I'm going to bring it quite hot to you. So I want to say thank you very much for staying with me, and I hope to see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.